Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and when we did the Weimar guide a few weeks ago, I said I have another match I wanted to show just because it was very good and interesting, right? And this is it. Okay, so we are going to push in here. And you got to be, like I said in the guide, you got to be careful of the detection of the ship. It can get you in trouble. But if you get into good positions, it can be a very effective ship. And I don't like playing this far out because it's really hard to aim the shells. Now, we are going to get up, try to get to the second island. Not the one right in front of us, but the bigger one slightly to the left that we're, kind of pointed at. The reason is if we can get our foot in there, it is really hard to get a cruiser player out of there. Now, because this ship is not very heavily armed, we have to be careful about this because if we get spotted on our way in here, it might be basically the end of us, right? So we got to be careful. The other thing is, I absolutely love this ship, and we talked about this as being one of my favorite ones. Now, when you don't have spotting, it can be tough, though. Okay, I don't play in division, so there's matches where I am not able to do a whole lot. We're gonna have a destroyer that does a pretty decent job of spotting, but but it's again not like I'm sitting in able to just farm behind an island this whole match. Now, the beginning is going to be that way. As you're going to see, we are just absolutely terrorizing Nagato here. Poor guy is just joined in and moved forward, and he is now fire spammed. Oddly enough, we don't have a fire yet, which is absolutely crazy to me. And we're a little close to the island, but this thing lobs pretty well, like really well, in fact, so we only have to back up just a touch. Now, this Nagato is going to be obnoxious for the entire match. I think we're going to get a fire here, and then the chaos is going to ensue in front of us, and we're not going to be able to get a double fire to get, some damage. That being said, Lo Yang pops up, and we are going to do our best to get rid of him, right? You would think all our teammates would do the same. We do have some stuff going on, and we do have some. It looks like other people are shooting them, but I'm not sure. In fact, there's somebody shooting. There we go. But he goes into the cloud. We're trying to actually blind fire. It's one thing I've been doing a lot more lately. And we do get 7 on there. But you're going to see here in a second, he's going to go dark. So I'm like, once you lose a guy in the smoke, it can be kind of hard to get him back. But right when I do that, I hit 5 more on him. Like, jeepers, man, I could have kept firing like a absolute madman and had him. Now, you can see both our destroyers have run back in this fight. That's okay, I completely understand that, but I am taking a beating, right? So we gotta be careful. Now, Nagato goes dark. Of course he does. And we're not gonna have any spotting here for a little bit. Now, both our destroyers are in the same exact spot back there. One gets struck by a torpedo from Lo Yang, and our other one is alive. And they do in fact end up obviously getting rid of the destroyer in front of us. So that is good, but we end up losing a destroyer, and I'm trying to get this guy to spot. So this destroyer didn't play bad, but man, if you got cruisers behind you, we talked about this in the other day, try to spot if you can for him. This guy isn't going to play bad, but what he's going to do is he's going to hide behind these islands a lot, and it's going to get him caught. Like, for example, this Iowa's right here, and because he kind of snuck up the island instead of coming, through the smoke, he's going to get himself in a little bit of trouble here, right? But we're going to try to get him out of that before he gets spotted. And we're going to just come out. Iowa is not looking at us, and we have the reload and DPM to get rid of him before he even looks at us. Because especially here, where he had just shot his guns off. You can see the AP on this thing is fantastic when it gets the opportunity. Now, Nagato, again, is getting away. But our destroyer is actually going to go ahead and get the cap. But you can see right now that we are not doing well in this match, right? Obviously. So, again, the Z-23 is... he's going to come out and he's going to try to spot here while getting the cap. But, yeah, if you're in a destroyer, one thing I'd recommend to this player, and he wasn't bad, but if you're in a destroyer... I almost never use islands to hide myself. Like, I get it. You might want to sneak up on somebody, but that gives them an opportunity to sneak up on you. And you're going to see this bite him in the butt one or two more times yet. But he's going to be decent. He's gonna do his job. I wish he'd spotted a little bit more. We don't have much here, obviously, to look at, but Nagato is now going to be probably shooting at us, so we got to be real careful. He goes dark, we don't have nothing to shoot at, and that happens. Like, I'm not mad about it. Well, I don't play in Division, so I'm pretty used to that happening, where there's nothing I can do, but then a destroyer pops up and starts shooting our Z-23. I'm guessing the Z-23 may have not had a good detection build, so he's probably get detected early as well. But he's, like I said, he's gonna do a decent job in this game. But you can see we're really hurting right now, like really hurting. And also, I believe their cruiser just took out our last destroyer a second ago, the Baltimore. I remember seeing that. And that is going to make a decision later on in this match. But you can see we're in a rough spot right now, right? We only have 4 ships. We're losing points. You know, they have, 7 ships to our 4. Not good, right? We're really outnumbered. But I'm going to do my best to try to shoot this Oyster Gotland. We just got a fire, I believe, on Nagato, but again, the destroyer's here, so I can't put a perma-fire on him, right? So that's just the way it goes. That Nagato got himself lucky, even though his start was rough, where he had to do it by fire spam. Again, this destroyer is going to use the island here again, right, to try to go out, when he could have used the open water more to spot what was out there before he did it. And then you're going to see here he gets radared by, I think, the Plymouth. Or no, he doesn't get radared by the Plymouth, but something clearly spots him. It might be the other destroyer. The Plymouth has smoke, so he doesn't have a radar, obviously. But he gets spotted by something because he came around that island too, you know, and that's a problem. Like, you don't want to be... You don't want to be doing that if you can help it. I'm guessing it was actually, now thinking about it, the Japanese torp boat that spotted them. As you can see here, we're going to keep pushing up. We're going to be careful, though, because we're guessing Ostergotland has thrown out torps at us. We can't just come blazing out. There's the Plymouth out of the smoke again. And he does get hit pretty good by... It must have been our battleship, actually. And we're going to do our best here to try to get rid of him. But at distance, this ship, this is why I don't use this ship much at distance. I'd rather be close in. And you're going to see we're going to start to make that adjustment here to be close in. I mean, we're pretty... Obviously, we've been close in for most of the fight. But when you don't know what's behind stuff, it's hard to just push up. You know, we did kill the Iowa pretty close. So... But we have, obviously, a battle on our hands, and I'm doing my best to help out this destroyer, right? You know, we're trying to get shells on target. This thing is really hard to aim at distance. Our Nebraska goes down, and now it's just our carrier, me, and our destroyer. So they have 3 times the amount of ships as us, and the cap advan, or we're tied on cap, so... We're going to go ahead, and Z-23 is, again, kind of using islands to... I don't know if he's trying to sneak up on somebody or what's going on, but Nagato spotted here. We're going to go ahead and try to focus back on Nagato again. But these shells, man, These shells are hard to aim, but it is a fun ship. I love this ship. Especially when you get an opportunity to get close in and brawl a little bit with it. Even though it doesn't have a ton of armor, right? You have a good sonar. You have torps. You have quick reloading guns. When you're close up, you can be a real issue for a lot of people, right? So also, I'm located now. Again, meaning one of the destroyers is here, and he's in the cap, right? We know that. We're trying to shoot, but for some reason it didn't stay locked on to Nagato there. And there is the destroyer. Again, Nagato, I have almost dead, and I can't shoot him. Because I'm going to go back to focusing on this destroyer. And you're going to see that our Z-23 has no health whatsoever. So the shots that we did put on, you know, on that Ostergotland definitely did help. We're going to try to focus on getting Nagato. And our Z-23 actually gets a double strike. So now I'm going to work on getting rid of this destroyer. Now, one thing I did not know, as the carrier is now here, the one thing I did not know is that cruiser that killed our other destroyer is pushed into the middle of a map, and he's trying to get, it seems like the Z-23. I didn't realize that until right here when he popped up on the map, right? So we know he's probably going to try to raid our Z-23 and murder the Z-23. So my thought goes from here to killing the Baltimore to keep our destroyer alive. Even though I had the sonar to kill the, you know, the destroyer sitting in the smoke, which I probably in retrospect should have done. And this is my daily dumb moment. I should have probably done that, but I was really at the time more worried about getting rid of this Baltimore so our destroyer didn't die. Because, you know, this is coming right down to the wire now. We do get a fire on him, but even with our sonar up, I don't see the torps in time, and we eat a torp, and we are dead. So probably, if I had went back in time, I definitely probably would have went for the destroyer first, but I was thinking I got to get rid of that Balti before he gets rid of our destroyer. He only had a sliver of health, but our carrier is alive, and our destroyer did go down to the carrier, believe it or not, so I didn't even really save him. So that being said, our carrier's going to stay alive, and we have that slim advantage on points from, you know, just barely killing off that Balti right there at the end as well. Really close match, obviously. And we have a 2,800 base damage game, helping our team win and come back in a really tough match, man. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.